In 2021, I quit my 9-to-5 engineering job without a backup plan. And ever since then, it's felt like everyone is staring at me, just waiting to see whether I succeed or fail. But isn't there a middle ground? Isn't life supposed to be about the journey? Wasn't the reason I quit my job because the success of getting a stable 9-to-5 wasn't what it was cracked up to be? Today, we're going to be talking about what I'm doing in 2022 to work towards financial freedom while living a life I actually find fulfilling. But before I tell you my plan, we need to talk about my goals or the specific outcomes I'm trying to achieve. Number 1, satisfaction in the day-to-day of my work. I don't want to dread 40 plus hours of my week, and I don't want to come home exhausted feeling the pressure to do something fun just so my life feels a little less empty. And number 2, financial freedom. I don't want money to control my life. Do I want to live extravagantly? Not necessarily, but I do want to live comfortably, and I don't want to be strangled by the fear of not having enough money to pay my bills. To achieve this, I have 2 options. Number 1, I can find a dead-end job that provides enough finances with little to no stress. Or number 2, I can work for fulfillment and pleasure, but without much stability and comfort. In the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki says, "Fear is what keeps most people working at a job. The fear of not paying their bills, the fear of being fired, the fear of not having enough money, and the fear of starting over. That's the price of studying to learn a profession or trade and then working for money. Most people become a slave to money and then get angry at their boss." If you've been watching me for a while, I'm sure you can guess that I'll be picking option 2 for now. To do this, I'll be following a 3-pronged approach to my career and finances. Number 1, explore your interests. You know those stories that talk about how someone makes a wonderful salary doing something that seems totally off the cuff? Selling antiques on eBay, freelance writing online, reselling cheap items they bought from Walmart, or becoming a virtual assistant? Every time I hear one of these stories, I think, wow, they must have had a super detailed plan that they executed perfectly to get to this point where they're making a full-time living doing this random thing. And sometimes, yes, that's true. But most of the time, the opportunity came from them just experimenting and exploring their interests. Most of these success stories started as a hobby or just a way to make some extra side cash. So in 2022, I want to fully allow myself to explore my interests and see what sticks. Number 2, focus on learning transferable skills. Instead of chasing the money, I want to chase the knowledge. I want to only try a new venture if it will bring me a new interesting skill. That way, no time is wasted. It's all part of my greater path. And the way I'll be deciding if something will bring me a new transferable skill is if an idea would not require me to do any research to succeed, then it's not worth pursuing. And number 3, live on the income side of the balance sheet. To reference Rich Dad, Poor Dad again, in the book, The Rich Dad says that those who live on the expenses side of the balance sheet never become financially free. So in 2022, I want to focus on the income side of the balance sheet. And I want to always pay myself first through investing in my knowledge and my future. If you're thinking, but what about your bills? What if you run out of money by the end of the month? Very valid question, but if there's one thing I've learned since quitting my 9-to-5 job without any backup plan, it's that we are resilient and we will figure it out. I always have some fallback options to make cash quick if I'm halfway through the month and not projected to break even. Surprisingly, having a savings account to fall back on has actually caused me to be lazy and take my time on this journey. Comfort brings laziness. Fear brings urgency. I like to say that an 80-20 split is the most healthy. 80% fear, 20% comfort. So how do I plan to stay on track and not give up? Number 1, by refusing to stay comfortable and vowing to step out into the unknown. Last quote from Robert Kiyosaki, I swear. If you have little money and you want to be rich, you must first be focused, not balanced. If you look at any successful person at the start, they were not balanced. Balanced people go nowhere. They stay in one spot. To make progress, you must first go unbalanced. Just look at how you make progress learning to walk. And number 2, I will continue to focus on my why. If you don't know what your why is, then you should watch this video to learn the questions to ask yourself to figure out your why. Let me know in the comments down below one interest of yours that you have not pursued because you thought it's probably not worth my time. For me, that is selling vintage clothes on Etsy. I used to do this in the past and I just kind of felt like, oh, it's not really worth it. And I gave up after some time. time. But in 2022, that is the first new venture I will be focusing on again on top of my YouTube channel and the other ways I make money throughout the month. But that is all I have for you in today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to like this video and subscribe if you're new and want to follow along on my journey towards financial freedom in 2022. Other than that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.